this Metanoia conference. Well, we all are really blessed to have an opportunity to listen to a lot of amazing speakers for the past few days, with a lot of wisdoms, realizations, and insights. And yet today we have yet another incredible speaker who is none other than Mitali Jaiswal, who is a TEDx speaker. Who doesn't love to become one, right? She's also the founder of Life Sutra Private Limited, a counselor, former Mrs. Delhi NCR, and an author as well. After an experience of 16 plus years in corporate strategy consulting and 5 plus years in the field of life coaching, counseling, and psychology, she has touched the lives of nearly 10,000 individuals. She is also certified in various psychological therapies like CBT, EFT, Reiki, NLP, dreams analysis, and hypnosis. As a social reformist, activist, and founder of an NGO, Suicide Free India, she has helped 20,000 people through counseling and enrolled 100 plus volunteers for the same mission. Even though she was in a well-paid job, traveling to almost 19 countries and residing in Europe, for work she found her life purpose in healing people. She quit her corporate career and began counseling for suicide prevention in 2018. And now, without any further ado, let's welcome Ms. Mitali Jaiswal to lead the session on happiness habit mastery with mindfulness and meditation. Over to you now.
First of all, thank you, Rinsha, for such a wonderful introduction. I'm already so happy, even though we are talking about happiness habit mastery. Your introduction makes me so happy, makes me feel like I think I'm on the right path, that I'm among people who are at the same wavelength. And I think you guys have been prepped from the last 4 days by listening to such great minds, such inspirational stories, that I'm already happy that I joined on day 5, day 6, because I think you guys are already in that good state of mind, like the happy wavelength, the classy wavelength, the 1% of the world is where we are today, right? So I'm really excited for our session today. Rinsha already gave so much information about me, and let me tell you one little piece about myself, that I was not this person 6 years back. What happened to me 6 years back, I was in a very successful corporate career, and one day suddenly I felt something is not right with my life and I need to do something about it. A lot of people feel that something is not right. I have everything. I have 2 houses. I have a good family. I have a good job. And what do I need? I have all the things that I dreamt of. So what is it, that one thing that is missing? And the reason that I asked that question that day is the reason I'm here today. So my suggestion to all of you, ask that question to yourself. What is wrong with me? And I did a lot of spiritual journey around it, to monasteries, to spiritual gurus, to reading books, doing thousands and thousands of courses, counseling innumerable people, around 10,000 people actually, to really find out what was wrong with me. And the thing that was wrong with me is I was taking a lot of things from the world, but not really giving anything out. And that's the reason I'm here today, to share with you some of my learnings during this spiritual journey that I've gone through. Okay, so with your permission, Rinsha, can I share my screen?
Oh, yes.
Okay, let me do that. Can you see it? Can everyone see it? Is it okay? Can I get a thumbs up from the audience? If I can get some thumbs up, I think I'll be in a comfortable, okay? Okay, looks like people can see it. Okay, great. Perfect. Okay, so, so we are talking about happiness, right? Everybody knows about happiness. We all know, right? Then why is this talk happening, why we are trying to decode happiness. Everybody knows how to be happy. Watch Netflix, eat popcorn, go out for a movie, we are happy, right? We are trying to understand to why happiness cannot be a habit. You know, what happens when there are problems, but you are still in a happy state of mind? You know, it seems impossible. It seems like, how is it possible? If I'm failing in my exams, how can I be happy? If I'm not getting a job, how can I be happy? If I'm my girlfriend left me, how can I be happy? So we are talking about how happiness can be a habit. Okay, we're talking about happiness habit mastery via mindfulness and meditation. Okay, to understand what happiness is, first we need to understand certain things. And the next slide, we talk about the common desires. Okay, guys, everybody knows about it, but I want to do some answers from you. Is there anybody here who thinks that he doesn't want love? Is there anybody who thinks that love is not necessary? Anybody? Can I see some messages in the chat? Okay, perfect. So love is a very basic desire, isn't it? I said default desires. Why do I say default? Because this is something we are not creating it or acquiring it as we grow up. It is something that we come as a default programming in us. For example, when we are in the womb of the mother, the first touch that we feel is of a mother, right? From inside the womb, we touch our mother, and that's the first time we really feel love. Okay. And because once we have felt it, you cannot go back. That means you will always want love. Okay. Even if you're alone, it's self-love. If you're doing something, you love your job, you love your kid, you love your plants, you love your scooty or a car, or you love your dress, anything, you just want love. Love is a basic desire. Okay. The next basic desire is peace. We spoke about peace through meditation. I'm sure a lot of speakers have already spoken about that, and how it is very important to get that sense of peace, because love is not enough. You need that, the sense of calm, the sense of peace. We all need that. And the third basic desire is happiness. I always say that happiness is a default state. Why do I say that? It's not that you achieve happiness. You can be sad. Okay, you can achieve sadness, but you come back to happiness, because that's your neutral gear. It is not gear one. It's not reverse gear. It is your neutral gear. You come back to happiness. You can be sad, upset, and anxious, overwhelmed, hurt, but you come back to happiness. That's your default state. Have you ever seen a baby? Babies are always happy. Is someone telling them a joke? No. Is someone, they don't even need toys to be happy, right? They are just happy, just like that. And that's why I say happiness is a default state. We are born with it. We are not supposed to be unhappy. It's just that it happens that a lot of triggers come in, and we tend to divert towards unhappiness. But happiness is our true default state. The next state is silence and stillness. And I'm sure now everybody understands what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is a derivative of this silence and stillness. We are born to be in a state of mind where we are conscious, we're very conscious of what is happening right now. For example, if I'm speaking right now and I'm thinking something else, I'm not mindful of the situation. I'm not here. The reason that you're here at this moment, at this given point of time, that is your basic desire. That's your the most default desire. Okay. And we practice mindfulness to attain that. Okay. Because even if you don't try, your body and mind will take you towards mindfulness, irrespective of what you're asking for. Okay. Have you ever felt that, you are in a very busy state of mind and suddenly you zone out, like you're not there, and your mother is saying something to you, but you zone out, like you can't control it. You're zoned out to somewhere else. And that's, your body is asking you to get that state of mind, the peaceful state of mind that you have not been giving yourself. So that's how you do it. Rashi, I am sure you have a question, but we are doing at the end of the session, the question answer, like the last 15 minutes, we'll do the questions.
It's
Okay.
just that, can you switch to just
Can't
the
hear.
presentation mode, please?
It is in the presentation mode, isn't it? Is it not?
It's not. It's just
Okay.
slide, like you're just on the
Let
first
me.
slide.
Okay. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Let me do that then. It's okay. Tell me if it is showing like that. Okay. Is it better now? Can you see? Oh, you did not see this slide, is it? Before?
No, we were just seeing the first slide.
Ah, no wonder. Thank you for raising that, Rashi. Really thankful to you about that. Thank you so much. Okay. So now can you see all the common desires, everyone? Okay. So we were talking about stillness and how that is also a part of your common basic default desire. Okay. Now that we're trying to understand happiness, we're not talking about love, peace, and silence at this point. We're only talking about happiness. To understand happiness, what is more important is to understand why are we unhappy. Okay. And there are 5 reasons for that. What the first and the biggest reason is failing to define happiness. Have we really defined happiness? And why do we do that? Because we do it by asking the if question. If I get good marks in 12th, I'll be happy. If I get engineering, I'll be happy. If I get married to the girl I love, I'll be happy. If I get my first kid as a son, I'll be happy. If I buy a house, I'll be happy. If I buy a car, I'll be happy. And this and that and that, right? This if condition never really ends. And that's why what we are doing is we are postponing happiness, right? We're deciding a date and time to be happy. Okay. We are not saying that we are happy right now. And even anybody who has gone through this cycle, okay, I'm sure you might have, that you kept a target for yourself and you achieved it. Then suddenly you realize that it is not making you really that happy, because after that it's finished, it has lost its charm, and now you want the next big thing and the next big thing and the next big thing. So you are really postponing happiness. Okay. Because wherever there is a condition, once the condition is achieved, you get this temporary happiness for a small period of time, and then you want the next big thing. You're just postponing happiness again and again. The second point is medium maximization. What is a medium maximization? Happiness is coming through a medium in this case. Okay. For example, I'll tell you a story about this guy. So there is this Mr. Sharma, okay, and he really wanted to buy a car, and he decided to buy a Wagoner. And he really worked hard at his job, saved a lot of money, and finally bought a car. And he was very happy. And in the favorite color of his mother's choice, he bought a Wagoner, and he's really happy. So the medium of happiness is that car, is that Wagoner car, okay? And he's really happy with the medium because the medium is everything to him. Because he worked for 3 years to buy this car, he got the car, he's very happy through the medium, okay? But the next day morning, he got out from his house, he started his car, and what is he seeing? He's seeing the neighbor's son has bought a Mercedes Benz. And now what has happened is the same medium, which was the cause of his happiness, has become the cause of his unhappiness. Because now every time he sits in his Wagoner, he thinks about the Mercedes Benz that the other person has bought. Now he's feeling guilt, he's feeling shame, he's feeling jealous, he's feeling unhappy. So the medium, because he maximized the medium so much, now the happiness is only surrounded around that car. And unfortunately, the medium is not giving him happiness, the medium is giving him unhappiness. When we put too much pressure on the medium, when we maximize the medium so much, it becomes a cause of unhappiness, right? And it is just an example of a car. It can be anything. It can be a college. Some people want admission in a certain college, or want to become engineer, or want to buy a new dress, or wanted to get married to a certain kind of guy. So the mother is really happy that the daughter Rishta has got set with this guy, okay, who's a doctor. But when she gets to know the other neighbor's daughter is getting married to someone who's a doctor, but in imagine now the same medium, the same son-in-law has become a cause of unhappiness, even though he's perfectly natural and a good guy, right? So the media maximization also causes a lot of unhappiness. Okay, now the third point, chasing superiority. Okay, I want to see people who think who will accept this, that they chase superiority. What is chasing superiority? Superiority is when you try to become better than the other person. Okay, competitiveness. Okay, we all do that. Okay, there's no question about it. And obviously, there is a benefit of chasing superiority. The competition is also good at times, because what it does, it gives you a sense of approval in the society. It gives you a sense of validation. Okay, you're getting good marks, you're getting scoring better than your peers, so definitely you must be good. If you are running the race and you're winning, obviously you're good health, right? It is giving you a validation that you're in a good health. It also boosts your confidence. It also boosts your self-esteem, gives you a sense of validation. Okay, so there are definitely, but what happens with too much chasing superiority? What happens then? You're always comparing. Okay, once you get married, you're comparing your wife to another people's wives. Okay, you're comparing your husband to other people's, but because two people cannot be the same, right? You start comparing the wrong things. You always live. That's what the Mercedes guy did, right? The Mercedes guy did not want to buy a Mercedes. Okay, he never wanted to buy a Mercedes, nor did he save money for the Mercedes. The only purpose of buying the Mercedes is to make the other person jealous. Okay, because the sense of competition is there. And that gives him a sense of validation. And ultimately, it eventually becomes unhappiness. Because that's the whole life is about social comparison. And it really is not true happiness. It is just a temporary happiness. And we'll see how that is a temporary happiness. Okay. The other con is you become very materialistic. Okay. You become, because you can't really compare love. You can only compare materialistic things. And just because you want to chase being superior, you will buy more branded clothes. You will have a better visiting card. You will wear better clothes. You'll do everything a little better than the other. Okay. The purpose is not to better yourself. The purpose is to make the other person lose. You're chasing the wrong kind of happiness. Okay. And the other third con is you're always disliked by people. Okay. Now tell me this. The most intelligent guy in your class. Okay. The guy who came first in class, very competitive. Everybody wanted to be like him, but nobody really liked him. The prettiest girl in the class who was very competitive, everybody admired her, but nobody wanted to be friends with her. Because people who are very competitive, people can get inspired by them, but nobody really likes them. Okay, because that's how they don't want to make friends. They just want to win. Because if the whole purpose of your life is to win, how can you connect to people? You can never connect to people, right? Okay. Number 4, okay. Over controlling. We just spoke about that. Over controlling. So a lot of people are very unhappy because they want to control. Okay. And the worst and the best example of this is mothers. Okay. Normally, we put mothers on a pedestal. Okay, like mothers are like this really holy, very kind, very nice people, But the problem with mother, what happens is over a period of time, to get happy, they become very over controlling. And how does that happen? Either they control the people or they control the outcome. Okay, how do it? If you know about the kitchen structure. Mothers are very particular about where the spoon is going, where the plate is going, where the glasses are going. They have become it doesn't really matter where the glasses are. The glasses will still be glasses. But if you move a little things in the kitchen, she'll be mad. as if the control is everything. She wants to control what you're wearing. She wants to control how things are kept in the house. She thinks that she's doing it to maintain a structure, but actually she's just trying to control what she can control, because there are things in life that she cannot control. So she's creating this fake sense of control to be happy. But actually, this is causing her power stress, because sometimes when the towel is on the bed, she feels crazy. She feels like she's not in control anymore and she can't control things. So she gets mad. She shouts at your dad or her husband, because the sense of control is going somewhere, and that creates a lot of power stress. Same thing happens with bosses who can't control their employees. They get really angry when a little bit of things are not going their way, because they feel the power stress, the stress of not being able to control people. Okay. Now, what happens is when they control a lot of people, what happens then is either the people become rebels, okay, or they start getting into addiction. Okay. Kids with parents who are very over controlling get into drugs, get into alcoholism, get into all kind of negative addictions, because they can't really let their emotions out. They feel pressurized, they feel controlled, and that control is not good for the human mind. Human mind is supposed to be free. Freedom is also something that we are born with. And when someone tries to control you, you either become a rebel, or you suffer anxiety and depression, or you get into addiction, any kind of addiction. Okay. And that's why these people not only damage themselves, but also damage other people in a bad way. Also, the third con of such people is bad decisions. Because they are so hungry for power, what happens is people around them are not really there because they love them, but because they need something from them. Okay. If you have a friend who's very controlling, but she's very popular, because she's popular, you will be with them. Okay. But you really will not be a good, you will not be there for a good reason. And that's why when they take a decision, first of all, they never listen to other people. People who are very controlling in nature, they never really listen to other people. Okay, they don't take people's advice. And even if they take advice, they need yes man kind of people, people who always say yes to whatever they say. That's why they are always in bad company, because the people around them are just saying yes to whatever they are saying. And that's why they always take bad decisions. Okay. And the other con of over controlling people is, and obviously it causes them a lot of unhappiness, is some people try to also control the outcome, which is funny. Like some people try to control the marks they're going to get in the exam by praying to God. Isn't it funny? Some people try to control the outcome of their marriage by going to an astrologist. I'm not saying bad things about astrologers here or tarot card readers. What I'm saying is people think that by going to an astrologer, they can really control the fate of their marriage. Okay? Or going to a tarot or someone who's reading your palm can really decide the fate of your marriage. Instead of working on the marriage, you're basically focused on the superstitious, because you want to control the outcome of your marriage. You really want to control. It's not about the marriage. Actually, it's just a nature of controlling things. And when you try to control anything in life, you create unhappiness in your life. Okay. That's one of the reasons of unhappiness. Okay. Number 5. Yes, I can't see you, but I can hear you. You have a question? Rinsha, is somebody trying to ask a question or?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I heard someone say something. Okay. Point number 5, expectation versus reality. Okay. Now, we expect something in life and we don't really get it. Like, for example, someone wants to take science, not really getting a good marks. You thought you were very intelligent, but when you went to college, you're not able to adjust with the hostile people, and now you just want to run away. So the expectation of living a free life is gone now, and the reality is that you have to wash your own clothes in the hostel. Okay, so the expectation versus reality creates a lot of unhappiness. Every girl wants to marry a Hrithik Roshan or a Shah Rukh Khan or an actor or a model. But when they get married, they see a pot belly, they see a bald guy, they see a short guy. Expectation versus reality, right? Makes them unhappy, right? So if we keep the expectation in check, maybe the reality will not hurt that much. But the expectation is, you see a romantic movie and like a DDLJ or a very romantic movie, and then you come back to your house and see your wife and she's shouting at you. There's no romance, okay? It's reality. And then you realize, and it makes you unhappy. So the expectation has to be brought into check, because the expectation versus reality is one of the major reasons of unhappiness. Okay. So we spoke about unhappiness. Let's talk about the happiness paradigms. And guys, this is very crucial. I really want to understand this. This is the most scientific part of the whole presentation. I really want you to focus on this, because I think that will make a lot of myth about happiness go away. Okay. So as you can see on the screen, there are two types of happiness paradigm. One is the hedonic paradigm. The second is the eudaimonic paradigm. Hedonic paradigm is what we call our basic brain programming. Okay. Basic brain programming. Okay. This is not something that we create. It is the basic brain programming. Our brain is designed in a way, or programmed in a way, that it is supposed to maximize pleasure and minimize pain. Okay. So anything that gives us pleasure, we are inclined towards it all the time. And whatever gives us pain, we are inclined against it all the time. Okay. So if studying gives you pain, you will not want to study. But if studying gives you pleasure, like if solving maths gives you pleasure, you will want to do more of it. Okay. It depends on person to person what gives you pleasure and what gives you pain. Depending on what it is, you will move towards pleasure and move away from pain. That's the basic nature. Okay. Even if your health is bad and going to gym is giving you pain, you will not go to the gym, because that's the basic programming. Okay. That's the hedonic paradigm. Whatever we just spoke about, all the causes of unhappiness, is part of the basic programming, which is the hedonic paradigm. Okay, is that clear? So hedonic is where most of us are. Okay, see, we buy a car gives us pleasure, right? So that is hedonic. Okay, there is a breakup, there is pain. So we want to move away from the breakup. Okay, so what we do, we break up firsthand. We only break up. Okay, so that's again brain programming. That is also hedonic paradigm. What is eudaimonic, on the other hand, which I also call in my language permanent happiness. Okay, hedonic is temporary happiness, because once the pleasure is gone and you become used to the thing, the happiness is also gone. Eudaimonic is something that is permanent, more stable, and what I call true happiness. It really is not shaky. Okay, you're happy all the time. Like I'm happy all the time. And it's not that I don't have problems in life. It's not that I don't get sick. It's not that my son does not fall down, or, I don't have problems at home. My maid also is on leave today. So it's not that I don't have problems, but I'm always happy. And why is that? Is because of the eudaimonic paradigm. What is eudaimonic paradigm? You have to discover something meaningful in life. Okay, something so beautiful and meaningful in life that it goes beyond the small pleasures of life. Okay, and that something will guide every action and decision you take in life. For example, if I want to make India a suicide-free country, okay, that's my mission. I found something really meaningful. And because of that, every other problem is a small problem for me. Okay. If I want to make a healthy body, if I want to lose 20 kgs of weight, I found something meaningful. I found that my health is very crucial to me. And even though going to gym and getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning and going for a walk is very painful, still I get up and go, because my meaningful decision guides every step of my life, and that makes me happy. And that is permanent happiness. Finding that meaningful something which goes beyond small pleasures of life. You must have seen people like Ambani or Adnani, and all these big shot people who have been successful in startups and business. They sleep only 4.5 hours. Okay. Narendra Modi sleep only 3.5 hours. Why is that? Because when you find something in your life, whichever purpose is it is not good or bad or evil, or I don't care. Is it about money? Is it about health? Is it about you want to become the biggest Miss Universe or Miss India? It doesn't really matter what it is. Whatever it is, if you found something meaningful and you want to forego all small pleasures and pains of life, that's your eudaimonic paradigm. Okay. Okay. Let's come to hedonic again. What is hedonic? I will tell you a small story here. Okay. This is about hedonic paradigm. So we have a desire. Okay. So there was this guy, and God was looking at this guy from the sky, and this guy had no legs. Okay. So the guy is praying to God, God, please give me legs. Please give me legs. And God is thinking, God was getting bored. So he decided what to do. Let me just give him legs. Okay. So he gave him legs. Now the guy was so happy. He was running, jogging, hopping, bouncing. And then he said, what if I just get one cycle? God, please, can you give me one cycle? I just want one cycle. I'll be so happy. I can travel anywhere. So God was thinking, okay, he's only asking for a cycle. Let me just give him a cycle. So God gave him a cycle. Now he's riding the cycle and he's enjoying the view. Then he's realized that his leg is getting hurt while, riding the cycle. Like, God, can you just give me a car? Like if you can just give me one Mercedes car, that'll be okay. I'll adjust. So God is like, okay, fine. So many people have Mercedes car. Let me just shut this guy up and just give him a car. So he gave him a Mercedes car, and this guy is driving. Now he's happy. He's putting on the AC, putting on the music and enjoying himself. After some time, God, there are so many seats in my car and I don't have any girl next to me. If only I can get a wife, it'll be so good. So God is like, this is the last thing I'm giving it to him. Let me just give him this one last thing and no more. So God gave him the most beautiful wife. Okay, and most loving wife, whatever. And God is like, fine. Only after 2 days, God, can you please take this wife away from me? I don't want her. I want to be free again. It's okay even if you don't give me legs, but just take her away. So the desire the hedonic works like that. A desire for something, you strive for it. As you can see on the screen, you strive, you work hard for it, you really obtain it sometimes. And once you obtain it, you enjoy it. Like for example, you tried so much for 12th standard marks and you got the marks and you're enjoying your society. Everybody's saying very good, very congratulations. You enjoyed the success. Now you're okay with that. You adapted to it. Now you want more. Okay. Now you want more. Some people I know, some of my clients have never really gotten over their 10th marks because they scored so well in 10th that they just couldn't get down from that thing, and they could never achieve that kind of accolades, and that's why they feel unsuccessful all their life. Because once you reach that level, a lot of Miss India, Miss Universe and Miss World suffer depression. Because once you reach certain level of desire, you always want more. And if it is very difficult to get more, you get depressed. Okay. So hedonic is very pleasure and pain driven. You receive pleasure, and if you don't get more pleasure than that, you feel the pain. Okay. That's how addiction also starts, because addiction is nothing, all addictions have a good intentions behind it. Okay. The good intention behind an addiction is because you're getting away from a pain, because that's hedonic, right? Either you're going through a pain of somebody's death, or you're going through a pain of breakup, or you are going through a pain of failure in life. And to remove that pain, you are using addiction as a tool. That's why hedonic has this cycle which is never ending, never ending. And that's why I said that we need to go for eudaimonic happiness. Okay. Now we'll talk about eudaimonic happiness and the 7 pillars of eudaimonic happiness. Something very close to my heart and something that I follow very, very religiously. Even though it seems easy, it is not that easy. Yet, once you reach a certain level of, finesse in this kind of happiness, you will truly never be unhappy in your life. Even if problems come, even if failures come, even if bad incidents happen, you will always bounce back. Nothing can truly make you unhappy. Okay. So the first point is autonomy. Okay. And I'm sure everybody knows about this. It's very simple. It's like loving your own company. You love your company so much that you are not dependent on other people's opinion, other people's validation. Okay. You sent a message to someone, he saw it, there is a blue tick, he never replied. Now you are sad. But autonomous people will never feel anything like that, because it's okay for them, right? They love their own company. Even if people ignore them, don't like them, hate them, who cares? They just love themselves so much, or they are so happy in their own self that the right people will get attracted to them, not the wrong people, and the wrong people will just get away from their life. Okay, automatically. So now some people will ask me about autonomy, that how can we be autonomous? I'm a student. I'm dependent on my mom and dad, on my siblings, on my friends, on my boyfriend, on my husband, on my father. There's so many people we are dependent. How can we, what is autonomy in this India? It's not possible in India. I'm sure not in other countries also not possible. But I'm saying this to you. Care for people, but don't care about their opinion. Okay, I'll repeat that again. Care for people. Okay, love them, respect them, do, your parents, your siblings, whatever. But don't care about their opinion. If you're sure about something and you have the knowledge for it, always trust your instinct. Okay, follow your gut feeling and be autonomous about it. Even if we have to fight for it, fight for it. Sometimes autonomy does not come easy, but once it does, it does. Okay. Second is self-acceptance. Okay, we are talking about self here a lot, because true happiness comes from self. Okay, what is self-acceptance? Self-acceptance is 3 things. Okay, what you know about yourself, what you don't know about yourself, and what you know you don't know about yourself. Okay, so what you know, you accept it, that I'm lazy, I'm good looking, I'm studious, but I'm not hardworking. You know certain things about yourself, right? Write it down. Write it down on a paper, what you know about yourself. Okay. Second thing is what you don't know. Okay. So maybe you don't know whether you have a good dressing sense or not. Maybe you don't know whether you're a good speaker or not. Maybe you don't know whether your communication is good or average, or not so average. Maybe you don't know whether you can be a good speaker. Maybe you don't know whether you'll be a good motivational coach. Maybe you don't know if you're going to be a doctor. Maybe, a lot of things you don't know. That means you need an expert opinion, right? Or your mother's opinion, or your father's opinion, or your sister's opinion. You need opinion, so you take it. Third is the blind spots. Okay, you know that you don't know. Okay, then you learn. Okay, things that you don't know, that's where you learn about yourself. Sometimes you have to, for example, I don't know whether I'll be a good classical dancer, for example. Okay, how will I find out? Once I try it, right? If I try learning in it and I fail, then only I will know that I can't do this. How will I know that I'm not a good driver? Only once I learn driving, right? Then I'll know I can't drive. I hate it, right? So to know about yourself, you have to explore. You have to really try multiple things. People say that I don't know my passion in life. I don't know what I'm good at. A lot of clients say that to me. So I say, explore. Try 100 things till you find one. I want to start a business, but I don't know what business. So try multiple business till you find one. I completely failed in 3 startups before I started Life Sutra, which is my company right now. I failed in 3 startups because unless I started a company called Therapy with Art, I started a company called Gyani Guru, I started a company Apagen Solutions, completely different fields. But you have to fail in something to know that you're bad at it, right? Then you try something new. Okay. So do that. Number 3 is your purpose in life. Discover something meaningful that takes you beyond small pleasure. We spoke about that. Now, a lot of people say, I don't know my purpose in life. Let me answer that question for you right now, for all of you. I'm giving you your purpose of life today. Your purpose in life is to give. If you're here on this planet, you're not here to take anything from here. You're only here to give. Now find out that thing that you are good at and you can give the best before you leave this planet. That's the only purpose of your life. Maybe it will take you multiple years to find out what you can truly give. Okay? It might take years, but that's the main purpose. If you think that maybe your purpose is to become this rich guy, no. Maybe your purpose is to become that rich guy and then help someone. Okay? But the purpose is always to give. It is never to take. Okay, we are part of this big machinery and we are these small screws and nuts and bolts. And we are all very, very important. We are here to play our role. Okay, even if you want it or not want it, universe will use you exactly the way it wants. But if you try to find your purpose, maybe it will be easier for you and the universe both. Okay. So if you don't find your purpose, universe will slap you one day and put you exactly where it wants you. Okay. But if you try to find it, maybe it will gently take your hand and guide you there. Okay. Like it slapped me. I suddenly got up and I went so crazy that I left my 16 years of job just like that. Okay. And I had loans. I had home loans, car loans, and I just didn't want to go to office. That's it. And I loved my job at some point. So I was like, what is my purpose now if I don't want to do the thing that I love? So it'll happen. I got slapped. Maybe you don't have to go through that. Okay. Number 4 is personal growth. Very, very important. Guys, for all of you, very important to really learn every single day. Okay. First of all, learn from your kids, learn from your parents, learn from your grandparents, learn from your friends. Make friends, only make friends with those people whom you can learn something from. Okay. Because your 5 friends, the 5 close people next to you, you are the sum of them. Okay. The 5 people who are sitting next to you in class or the 5 people you hang out with, you are the average of those 5 people. Those 5 people can also be books. Okay. If you're saying, I just have 2 friends, then the 3 books that you read, that is also your friend. Okay. So you are sum of that book also. Okay. So keep good company. Okay. So you grow based on that. And then either learn through books or seminars or webinars or conferences or do courses. Keep learning. I was reading the autobiography of Indra Nooyi. If you all know about her, she is the CEO of PepsiCo and one of the most fascinating CEO ever. women CEO. And she said one thing that I remember, that even now, she's become this big shot thing. And even now she reads books on team building. She has made one of the most enhanced emerging empire of a company, and she's learning about team building at this age. She doesn't need to, right? And how does she learn about team building and being a team player? She watches basketball games and she takes up lessons from there and use it in corporate life. Okay, because there is no age of learning. There is absolutely no age for learning. So keep learning, keep reading books, keep reading newspapers, keep reading articles, journals, wherever you can learn. And how do you decide what to learn? I always answer this question by saying, follow the energy. Follow the energy. Okay. Your energy tells you what you like. And wherever your energy attracts you, that's what you learn. Okay. If your energy is guiding towards psychology, maybe psychology is your thing. If your energy is guiding towards law, maybe law is your thing. If your energy is guiding you towards something fictional or poetry or, piece of storytelling, maybe that's your thing. Follow your energy, follow your interests. Okay. So personal growth is another big thing. Now, this was all about self. ये तो बहुत easy है. Okay, this is very easy because eudaimonic happiness, the first 4 pillars is all about self. Okay, when it is about self, you can really control it, right? You can find a purpose, you can do self growth, you can work on yourself. But what about number 5, which is environmental mastery? What is this? Learning to navigate your life. Okay, you have worked on yourself. You have a very self-aware, self-growth is there, everything, but you can't make friends. Nobody likes you, nobody talks to you. If you have to get something done, nobody is helping you. How can you live your life like that? You cannot be happy like that, right? Humans' basic nature is to communicate, to be loved, to be cared for, to find your tribe. How do you do that? Okay, so you need to learn, you need to master in your environment, wherever you are. You need to be this soft, jelly kind of a person who can adjust anywhere. A lot of intelligent people cannot adjust to living in a hostel. A lot of good intelligent students, once they go abroad, they come running back to India because they can't adjust to a new country. You cannot be like that. If you really need to grow and work and give it to others, let me tell you about myself. I was never I'm not a very friendly person, or I was not at some point. Okay. And not a very people's person. I like to be alone. I'm an introvert. I love my imagination and my books and, listening to song, dancing alone, kind of an individualistic person, not very social kind of a person. But I realized that to really give and support the society, you need to be there. Okay. So it's a part of your job on this planet to learn about your environment. Okay. Need to master it. How to communicate with people, how to not get angry with them, how to not shout with them. You see, for example, when your environment is at home is very calm, you go out and someone is shouting at you, you can't tolerate that, right? You're not used to it. How to adjust to people you can't like. Okay, you can't love everybody. You have to tolerate people sometimes. Okay, you need to learn the art of tolerating people. Okay, sometimes we are racist and you can't help it because if it's been built in your genes, your genetics are like that. So you can't express your racism, but you can't also treat them badly. So you have to adjust to your environment. You need to learn. It's like any other skill. People say, I am an introvert. Why do I have to communicate with people? It's being an extrovert, maybe a personality trait, but not able to communicate and interact with people. It's a skill that you can develop. Okay, it's like any other skill. It's like if you don't have a fashion sense, you can develop fashion sense, right? If you don't know the art of makeup, you can learn how to do makeup, right? It's a skill. It's not something you do to be proud about it. I am an introvert. I can't interact with people. That it's a non-optional skill. Okay. Number 6, positive relationship. Okay. Positive relationship. How do we know it's a positive or a negative relationship? Simple answer. People who drain your energy are negative relationships. People who enhance your energy are positive relationship. Okay. Now listen to this very clearly. All the thoughts in our head are electronic in nature. Okay. Do you know how ideas come? Like a neuron gets sparked in your brain. Okay. It's like an electric current that goes around in your brain. Okay. So your thoughts are electronic in nature and your emotions are magnetic in nature. Okay. And together they form a electromagnetic aura around you. Okay. It's an electromagnetic field around your body, which is also known as aura. Okay. Now, aura is also called vibe. Why do we vibe with a certain kind of people? Okay. People say your vibe attracts your tribe. Correct? People say that, right? So why do we say that? Because if you're thinking negative all the time, okay, and if your emotions are jealousy, full of jealousy and hurt and hatred and racism and negative feelings, what kind of aura do you have? You're not saying anything bad to anybody, but what kind of aura do you have? A negative aura. And what kind of tribe you will attract? Negative people, right? So what you're thinking and what you're feeling, both of them combined makes your aura. That's why be very careful of your thoughts. Okay. What do we call a negative thought? We call them ants. Okay. Imagine a small little ant in front of your eyes. Okay. And you feel so sad. Oh, this poor little ant is not getting any sugar. Let me give 1 cube of sugar to this little ant. Okay. So you pick 1 cube of sugar. Try this, okay? One cube of sugar you pick and give it to this ant. Suddenly, from nowhere, hundreds of ants will come. And you don't know how. You don't know where they were. Same thing happens with one negative thought. You get one negative thought in your head. And suddenly, from the last 20 years of your life, all the negative things that have happened to you will come rushing back. You called your best friend and she did not pick up the phone. Now you're thinking about how in nursery and KG you were ignored as a child, how your mother used to love your brother more than you, how you never got a boyfriend because nobody loves you, nobody cares you. Maybe I'm worthless, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm not that good looking, maybe I'll alone forever. You know, all these negative thoughts start playing into your mind just because of one negative thought. That's why we call them ants. So be very careful of these negative thoughts. As soon as it starts popping in your head, stop them, crush them, kill them like ants. Just kill them. Okay. That's why your thoughts will create a reality for you, which is your positive relationship. Positive relationship are the best gift that universe gives you. Okay. I always say this, that when you raise your vibration, when you have positive thoughts and positive feelings for the world, there is a vibe that you create, and your vibe brings the right kind of people in your life. It does not bring opportunity. It brings the right kind of people, and those people bring the right kind of opportunities in your life. So keep your emotions in check. Keep your thoughts in check, because your aura is everything. Your vibe is everything. Okay. That's how you create a circle of positive relationship, and that brings a lot of happiness, you know, because when you're happy for someone's success and they are happy for your success, there is no feeling absolutely in the world like that when people are happy for your success. Okay. So let's focus on positive relationship and all the toxic relationship. Even if your parents are toxic, sometimes there are toxic parents or siblings or friends, try to reduce interaction. Okay. I'm not saying cut them off. because sometimes even toxic people have good intentions. Okay. But limit your interaction with them till the time you are strong enough to not get bothered by them. Okay. Once you're strong, their words will not matter to you. Till you're not strong, keep a little bit of barrier. Okay. Mental barrier with them. Okay. Number 7, skills mastery. Now we spoke about self-growth and learning, but what about skills? Okay. If you're a doctor, you definitely want to have surgery skills, right? Similarly, if you are something else, okay, for example, let's say you are a coach, okay. So what skills do you need? You definitely need in social media skills, digital marketing skills. You definitely need good speaking skills, communication skills. You definitely need PowerPoint skills, right? What are the skills listed down? Whatever profession you are, whatever you are doing, you need to enhance your level. If you are 6 out of 10 in terms of dressing sense, make it 7 out of 10. If you're 8 out of 10 in terms of health, make it 9 out of 10. If you're 5 out of 10 in terms of your knowledge about life coaching, make it 6 out of 10. Increase it every little by little every day. Do this much every single day towards skill mastery, whatever your profession is. Okay. So these are my 7 pillars of eudaimonic happiness for you. And the next bit that I want to talk about is, once you acquire these 7 pillars, what happens then? Because there are negative people. Even if you're trying so hard to be happy and trying to create a nice environment for yourself, good friends, good thought process, good feelings, good vibe, good tribe, you're doing your learning thing, there are still toxic people, right? Who will hurt you. Okay. And how they hurt you? What are the triggers? Let's look at the triggers. The triggers can be a person. One person is always there, no? Who will kill the buzz. Okay. Who will say something negative to you. As soon as they meet you, you have gained weight, na? You're not looking very nice today. You still got bad marks, huh? Oh, you still don't have money. People will say things. So there are always bad people. Then there are behaviors. Okay. If you're not used to being abused and you meet a Punjabi person in Delhi, they start their conversation with abusing, right? It's not that they do mean well. They're not saying bad things to you on purpose. It's just their behavior. You don't like it. And that's why it triggers you, right? Some places trigger bad emotions. Okay. Some places are such, for example, if you were bullied in school, then school is a place that you feel unhappiness. Okay. Every time the mention of school is there, you feel unhappiness. A negative thought. Okay. Most of the things happens with a negative thought, like I said about the ants. Okay. A negative experience like a breakup or death or divorce or separation or a bad incident in school, being bullied or scolded by teacher in front of everyone, or being punished for being late, or maybe because of your looks or eyes or the way you talk or walk, or maybe you're handicapped, and things like that can trigger a lot of unhappiness at times. Okay. But you can't control them. You can't control events in life. What you can control is something we'll talk about. So what happens with these triggers? What kind of feelings? Like I said, the events happen and then there is a feeling created around it, right? Kinesthetic, right? And the feeling is the feeling of being unaccepted. Okay. The feeling of being disrespected. Someone disrespected you. Someone is trying to control you. Someone is trying to manipulate you. You feel scared. Maybe if you're bullied at school, you're scared to go to school. Some kids don't want to go to school because they're bullied by the teachers sometimes. Sometimes you feel ignored, unloved. You feel judged for your looks, for your behavior. You feel like people are trying to blame you, Sometimes you feel hopeless. A lot of the reasons mentioned here are some of the reasons that causes suicide in students. Okay. Sometimes you feel out of control. You can't control your own behavior. You are anxious or overwhelmed, or you just can't study for some reason, and you're unsure about life. what will happen to me. There is no clarity in for life. So these are the feelings that gets created by the triggers. Now, even if you have done the 7 pillars of eudaimonic, these things can happen. Okay, how do we deal with that? So we ask these 2 questions. Okay, very simple question. Just ask that to yourself, and really right now maybe try that. Ask yourself that, is this reaction logical? Okay, if I'm feeling disrespected, is this reaction logical? Okay, I looked at my school and suddenly I'm feeling scared. Okay, because once upon a time I was bullied in the school. Okay, so ask yourself, is this reaction logical? Does the problem exist now? It does not exist, right? The bullies are gone, the school is closed, maybe school is open, but you are not in that school anymore. So is my reaction really logical? Maybe not. Maybe it is sometimes, but mostly it is not. Okay. So first question is that, and then ask yourself, once you get the answer for the first question, then ask yourself, is my reaction proportional to what happened? Okay, fine, I was bullied in school, but everybody is a little bit bullied in school. It is not an uncommon thing. Okay, kids bully each other. Even kids of 2nd and 3rd standard bully each other. Do they have evil intention at the age of 3 and 4? No, they don't have any evil intention. They just bully each other, for no reason. So is my reaction really proportional to what happened? Ask yourself that. Okay. And once you get the answer, okay, once you get a sensible answer that maybe that kid did something because of that, or, maybe he was just having fun, listen to your answer with gentleness and curiosity. Okay, that's why I call it mindfulness also. Just really listen to the answer and think about the problem. Maybe the trigger was not that bad, and maybe what you're feeling is out of proportion. Okay. So you can handle these kind of triggers by asking these 2 questions. And when you get an answer, listen to the answer with a lot of gentleness for the other party. Okay, that they are also human. When you're angry with your parents, just remember that there is no parenting school. Okay, there is no school for parents or being a good parent. So they also are learning through you. Nobody knows how to be a great parent. So if you're angry with your parents, be gentle to them and be curious as to how and why they did what they did. Okay, so that's about the triggers, and I'm ready for any questions. These are my details. Whenever you want to contact me for any other queries or questions, I'm on Instagram and I have my Facebook link. People who are interested in being a volunteer for Suicide Free India can also contact me. And I'm open for any questions, Rinsha, now. If anybody wants to ask anything related to happiness habit mastery, I'm ready to answer. That's it from my side, guys. Okay. Jilwa has a question, I think. Yeah. You can unmute yourself. Can you? Still not unmuted, Jilwa. You're not still on mute. Yes.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, perfectly audible, dear.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this wonderful
My pleasure, darling.
session. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Jilwa.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for this wonderful session. I really enjoyed it well. And my question is that now +1, +2 students are getting avoided by their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like from their friend zones, they are getting avoided, and this is putting them at a suicidal level. They
Hmm.
are feeling depressed. And why is this happening?
Hmm.
Why this is happening?
Hmm.
You told me that it's an uncommon thing, but why this is happening?
Okay, let me tell you, you mentioned a specific age, right? 11th and 12th, right? That's the age of hormones, right? That's the age of getting attracted to the other energies. Okay, the feminine is attracted to the masculine, masculine is attracted to the feminine energy. So it's a age of getting attention. Okay, if you're not getting attention, okay, if you're not getting enough attention, that's what you're seeking. And this and the same pain and pleasure principle, right? Your body is needing attention, okay, from the other masculine energy. Okay, now you're not getting attention, so you're seeking it from somewhere else. It is a displacement. Okay, and when you're not getting the attention, you're feeling the pain. The brain is feeling pain, and that's why you're not focused on studies. You're more focused on who's saying something about me, who's ignoring me, who's not talking to me, because what I want is attention. Okay, in this case I counsel a lot of 11th and 12th students. Okay, and I get a lot of these questions, and I tell them this one thing, that the hormones will settle down. Okay, but if you spoil your career now, you are going to pay the price of this for your lifetime, because the need for other people's validation, it's only for these couple of years. Okay, when the hormones are really high, once these hormones settle down, you will lose the chance of making something big in life, and the hormones which has taken over your mind right now is going to spoil that for you. So you will get a lot of attention in the future. Just focus on your career for now. I think what we need to tell these students, 11, if you come across certain clients who are in 11th and 12th standard, is to just hold on to that reaction. Okay, just hold on to it, because it will pass away. Just tell them to not react. Okay, just hold on to that feeling, because it settles down. Okay, in 1 or 2 years they will forget completely about it. It's a matter of time. It's a little physiological to say. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, Jalwa, for the question. Next, I'll be unmuting Fatima. You can
Okay.
ask your question.
Hi, Fatima.
Hi, Mitali. Nice to meet you. Your session was wonderful,
Thank you.
and you made us realize and become more mindful about our own happiness. I just wonder, the whole presentation was about happiness and how easy, or how we just say, "Are you happy?" Yes, I'm happy. It's so small, but it's so much to know about, the permanent and the temporary, as you say. I just wanted to ask, so this is not just to the topic, let's say, but prior experience. I know you have a lot of experience, and you was the Miss Delhi in NCR 2018. So definitely you can shed a little light on that, because I know everybody love that, and of course you need to have a kind of mindset to reach that position. And what happened after that? I know a lot of experience there. I'm very curious to know about that from you.
Sure. Thank you for a lovely question, by the way. I always love answering this question, because I think there's a lot of learning there for me also. Okay. I was always a very dark skinned girl. Okay. Always been bullied for my color. Okay. I'm not fair, and I was never fair. I was always dark skinned. And, in Hindi, they say, I'll just translate it in English. They used to say, dark buffalo, they used to call me in my house, like funny, in a funny way, dark buffalo. And it really, they didn't realize it, but it used to really hurt me very, very deeply. And I realized that maybe looks is not working for me. So I have to focus, my focus has to be in making money, because I thought that if I make money, I can overcompensate my look. Okay, by making money. So I worked really hard at my career, and got a promotion out the promotion and traveled the world, but that hole was still inside, of being called ugly. of being called ugly. So when I did really good in my career and started seeing a little bit of success, I decided that I cannot live like this. I really have to prove to the world that I'm not ugly. And what is the best way of doing it? By winning something like this. By winning Mrs. Delhi NCR, I can tell myself it was not for other people. It was like for myself. I want to tell myself I'm pretty. And to do that, I did not know how to do makeup. I was not I was fat because I just had my baby, so I was like really fat. So I joined a gym. I worked really hard. I was working also that time, and I learned how to cut my own hair. I learned how to do my own makeup. I watched celebrity videos to understand fashion, of how to team up jewelry with this and that, and I learned like any other skill. Once you put your mind to something, there's nothing you can't achieve. There is absolutely nothing you can't achieve. So I did not win Mrs. Delhi NCR because of my looks. I strategically won Mrs. Delhi NCR because I broke the problem into smaller pieces, like what are the rounds, what all I have to impress judges on, and then I focused and won each part of it one by one. Because in Mrs. Delhi NCR you have tasks, so I won just enough so that my total score is well enough to take me to the final round, because I know the final round, the question round, I can win it, because I was already intelligent. I was not beautiful, but I was intelligent. So I was like, if I can reach the top 5 somehow, that was the most difficult part, I can win the game. So that's what I did. Thank you, Fatima, for reminding me that when it
Thank
was
you.
changed my life. Actually, because it filled a hole inside my heart. After that, I felt I could do anything in life. If you win your biggest fear, you can do anything in life.
Oh, thank you so much. It was beautiful. Your answer was. I just want to correct one statement that you just said. You are actually beautiful, though you said you aren't. You
I
are pretty much.
when
Yeah.
you feel beautiful, you look beautiful. That's what I feel.
Mm.
And it's not that my features have suddenly changed, or I did not do any plastic surgery. What I think it was always there, right, Fatima? It just
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
I did not feel it. Okay. And
Exactly.
it
And
was
the best part. Mhm. Yeah. Carry
it,
on. Carry on.
it was a matter of convincing myself rather than the world. You know, it was a fight with your own self. It's kind of a thing.
There was a preparation for your mind, that mindset you created to win the title. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you for that incredible answer, Mitali ma'am. And moving on to Wajaha. Wajaha, you can talk.
Hi, Vaja. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Uh, I wanted to say that it was a brief but very, up to the uh, like to the point presentation by you. It was lovely.
Thank you so much.
One thing I want to say is that for a rational mind, these things are quite like, okay, whatever you are saying is right. But
Mhm.
sometimes during our coaching, we meet some people who are not willing to see the way.
Mhm.
Uh, for example, there comes a wife who is, very clingy sort of, and
Mhm.
complaining about, husband talking to his friends, and, and pinning all the happiness on him.
Mhm.
And the reason of her unhappiness is,
Mhm.
her husband. While as a coach, or as a therapist, we can see
Mhm.
that what's wrong with her. So,
Mhm.
if you want to make someone strong from inside, what should be the first step as a coach we should take? Uh,
Mhm.
First is how to make her aware, and even if, like,
Mhm.
after making aware, what should be the first step to make her strong, or rather, what should be the way of coaching someone who is not, willing to let go of the other person.
So this is a clear example of power stress, right? When you
Okay.
can't really control, when you can't really control yourself, you want to control others. Okay. Your psychology becomes your perception. Okay. What you are, that's what you see. Okay. So when you can't control your own things, ask that lady. Okay. I'm sure you're talking about a specific client. Ask that lady about what are her things in her life that she's doing well. I'm sure the answer will be no. That I'm not able to do my studies properly. I'm not being a great mother. I'm not being a great cook. I'm not able to manage my house properly. I did not do good in my career. When they can't control anything, that's when they try to control other people. Okay. So the problem is inside, not outside. They're just trying to fix it outside to feel more in control. The basic nature of human mind is to control things. Okay. When they can't control something which is actually in their control, they try to control others, which is not in their control. And then it makes sense to be unhappy, right? Because he's not listening, he's not giving me time, so much burden on the other person. Obviously, the relationship is going to spoil big time, eventually leading to separation or divorce. Tell her that try to fix this first, then probably you'll not need his attention. You don't need to control him, because first of all, and this is one example, and maybe there are clients where the husband is really not in love. Okay, that's a different situation. Okay, even in that case, I tell my clients that you cannot force love. Okay, don't be a positive thinker, don't be a negative thinker, be a realist. Okay, don't assume that he will eventually fall in love with you. Don't assume that he never loved you. Be realistic. It is what it is. You cannot force love. If he does not love you enough, then be happy with that. Okay. So these are two different scenarios. In one case, maybe it's a control, power, stress thing, and the other case can be a kind of love kind of a thing. Okay. I hope I answered your question. I can't hear you, Raja.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It seems it's the first scenario where husband used to love, but like, how can I make the woman strong? That's what I want to, first, what should be the first step or the second step?
Herself. She need to fix herself. Okay, the first step starts with something very basic. Try to fix the most basic thing. Try the 80-20 rule. Do little bit of work. Okay, find the most crucial thing that is really bothering her about herself. Okay, maybe it's the education, maybe it's the house management, maybe it's being a mother thing, maybe it's a mother-in-law. Fix a small part that will create a major shift in her life, and then work on the other things. Okay, she need to first fix herself before she tried to fix the relationship. Okay, because she has done that to herself. If the husband is feeling a little strained, she has done that. Okay, she's like, if I'm not happy, you better not be happy. It's like that kind of a situation subconsciously. Okay, so she has to first fix herself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mitali ma'am. Actually, your answer reminded me of a Sanskrit shloka that I learned recently, which is Darpanam Sadashyamana Nagiri Tulyam Nijam Antargatam, which means our outer reality is the reflection, projection, and extension of our own mind.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Bang on.
Thank you so much for that. And I'll be unmuting Azmina. You can ask your question.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Thank you. First of all, very big thanks to Arian Talks for conducting such a good session. And then thanks to you, madam, because of such a very nice session. All the insights were really good. And like you said, I felt like those points are coming from a realist person. So
Thank you.
so it touched my heart. Just when you said how you won this Mrs. Delhi title, I got a little bit confused. So I'm going to reframe that question in a different way. Just like you said that you were judged for your color, which I don't know how it happened. Anyways, so is that the only way to do this thing? Like if someone judges me for my looks, like not looks, in my case, I can say that if someone judges me for my fashion sense and for my I'm not a materialistic person, okay? So if someone judges me for my fashion sense and for my looks and the way I walk around, so I do have some negative feelings sometimes. Like I feel like, okay, now I will. They kind of think like it's not. It's because I cannot afford things, or it's because they know that I'm not interested. But at least I feel like, okay, maybe I'm. Maybe they think that I cannot afford things, and so then in a negative energy, I feel like, okay, maybe I have to be rich, and then show them that I can still be simple. Okay, so isn't that a negative kind of thinking, or should I actually go for it? Like should I actually earn money and then try to prove something to others? Like, is that the way I have to do it?
Okay, let me ask you this. Are you sure that you don't want money? Are you sure that you don't want to look good? First question is that.
Okay, I'm sure. I'm sure that I would like to have money,
Huh.
but I don't want to look materialistic. That's the thing.
What is looking materialistic? What does it mean?
I don't go behind brands and all those things.
Huh? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, it's a choice. Okay, don't. Which means that you also don't judge people who are doing that. Correct?
No. I never judge people for not wearing brands and all.
Perfect. No, if someone is wearing brands, I'm saying if someone is wearing brands, you're not judging them, right? It's a choice.
Yeah, it can be put this way. I don't like people wearing brands just because to show it off. I don't like it.
Right, but it's their choice, darling. It's a choice, right, Asmina? Like you have a choice, they also have a choice.
Yes.
Like I said, Abhi, I think we just spoke about that what you were feeling, that's what you're projecting. You're getting my point? Because you are judging them in a way. Okay, listen to this very carefully and very calmly. Okay, just because you are judging them a little, that's why you think that they are also judging you. Okay,
but
maybe they are not.
But it didn't used to be this way. It's like when they started projecting these kind of views on me, I wasn't bothered at all. Like I didn't even think about it like in the past. But then when this maybe I kind of judged now recently, like why do they have to, because as you know, most of them are materialistic in this world. And we know the reality that most of them even can't afford anything. They are just walking like that because of this Instagram and all. So I personally don't like that, but I don't go project my views on them.
Good. That's good. That's good. See, you can't control what they are doing, right? They are triggers, right? Can you just tell me this? Can you control their words? Can you really put a clip on their mouth? You can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Can you stop them for judging? Can you stop their thoughts? Can you stop their words? Can you stop their clothes? Can you stop what brands they're... You cannot do anything about them. Can you? You can't.
No.
You do work on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right? You can ignore. Right? You can do that.
Yeah, but my question...
Ignore. Something that is not useful for your growth, ignore. If ignoring is not working, cut them off. Cut them, right? If ignoring is not working, cut them off. And the best thing would be, like if you're in a really eudaimonic paradigm, whatever they say will not really bother you. That's what
I have to. That's where I have to work on. But then I got confused with this Mrs. Delhi. That's why I asked, like, does he really have to go for that? Like, if it is for myself, do I have to prove that point to them? Like, do I have to prove? I don't need to, right?
You don't need to, but first you have to be sure that you don't want to. Like about money, right? Do you really not want money? Ask yourself. If you're sure you never want money, okay, and be careful what you wish for, okay, only then really say it with proud that I don't want money. I don't want materialist thing. After 5 years, you'd better not be wearing a brand. You
Yeah,
getting
that's the thing. Yeah, the thing is that I'm not very much going behind it. But I
right?
definitely don't need money. I didn't say that I don't need money, but I need money to be secure, not to waste
Yes.
money on some things like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see again, Azmina, don't judge them if somebody is buying brands. They're not wasting money. They're doing what they want. And
Yeah,
everybody
that's it.
on this planet has the right to do whatever they want. Okay? Let them judge you, but you don't become them.
Yeah, okay. That's
Okay.
it.
Because we are talking about self-love here. Okay? We are not here to correct them. We are not on this planet to correct toxic
Yeah,
people. Right?
yeah, thank you very much, because it's kind of projecting their views on them, and finally I am starting to feel like, okay, just like you said, what is it that is it like, do people accept only those people who are interested in these in those things? So should I change? Actually, these kind of questions popped up in my mind. That's why I asked.
Your tribe is maybe not correct for you right now. Maybe you will find your tribe, the right kind of people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel unaccepted in the group you don't belong.
Yeah.
Maybe the universe is telling you to find your tribe. Okay.
Yeah.
The right kind of people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Asmina.
Thank you, Asmina. Actually, Mitali ma'am, we have one more question who had raised
Sure.
their hand.
Sure. Yeah, let's take that question.
Brenda, you can unmute.
Yeah, thank you for unmuting me. So my question is regarding, I am a very social person and I keep friends, and I always believe what I am today is because of my good friends who has given me that good feedbacks and always motivated me. But it's like my kids or my husband, they are really finding it difficult to find good friends. Like they're always telling me that I'm good friends, but we don't have like that.
So you want
to tell them?
Do you want to help your husband, or do you want to help your friend, help your son?
Kid, elder one. She's in the.
She's okay.
She also get bullied many times, and she tells that I'm odd man.
Okay. So I would suggest don't interfere in the life of your kid right now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let her be bullied. It's okay. Let her handle. Okay. Because I told you about environmental mastery, right? How do we learn to master an environment? By putting yourself in difficult situation and dealing with it. Okay. On your own. Okay. So don't try to help your child. Let her handle it. Okay. Let her handle it. If she gets bullied, she comes back to you. Give her good advice. Give her good advice that it happens. Beta, it happens. Everybody gets bullied a little bit here and there. That's fine. It happens with everyone. Okay. Don't try to interfere in the sense, don't talk to that girl if she bullies you, don't do that. Behave like this, do that, don't give her that kind of advice. Okay. Ask her to handle it. Okay. Because she needs to learn. Environmental mastery is a must. You can save her now. What about when she goes to America to study? What will you do then? You can't do that, right? You can't save your child from every difficulty. So don't try to help your child. For your husband, that's interesting, because for your husband, you can actually help him by introducing your husband to your friend's husband. Okay. Sometimes everybody needs like a kind of a push, right? And maybe your personality and your I believe that in marriage, two people come together because they need to learn something from each other. Okay. You need to learn something from your husband, and your husband needs to learn something from you. Okay. And it is your time to really use your skill and teach your husband, because he should really learn this now. Okay. He did not learn it all his life, but you are a perfect teacher to teach him that, because partners are supposed to grow, help each other grow. Okay. It is good for the marriage as well as it is good for your husband's growth as a person. Okay. It is a must to have friends. Okay. Initially, it will be difficult for him. You will introduce him to multiple husbands of your friends, and only 1 out of 10 will like him. It might happen, but you need to keep on trying. Keep on trying. Maybe try to find he will find eventually someone to hang out with, but you need to help him out there. And that's as a wife, maybe it's your duty, and also as a teacher. Like, I don't know if you are a coach or a teacher or whatever, but as a wife, it's your duty to be the coach for your husband. We are all coaches, right? All women are some kind of coaches, right? For our kids, for our maids, for our husbands, for our in-laws, we are all coaches, right? We teach them something. Okay. So really help your husband, but don't interfere with your daughter's thing. Okay. Because she has to go through that.
Two issues what I'm facing with him is,
Mm-hmm.
I always keep telling that start giving first. You be the one, you try to be a good friend or help people in some way, so that over a period of time will develop some bond.
Yes.
But
yes.
He don't enjoy that giving, or he fear that if I give, I will lose something, or something is there which makes him feel that I don't have time for all this kind of thing.
Right.
I cannot go for some help, or I cannot give money. So
right. There is in his case, maybe it's a kind of childhood programming thing. Okay, something happened in his childhood. Maybe try to dig a little deeper and find out what happened. Okay. It's a little bit of counseling required there. Maybe something happened which felt like he feels scared of opening himself up for some reason. Something happened. We really need to find that out, what that thing is, what happened that he closed himself. Okay. Something must have really hurt him. So you need to figure that out. Okay. A little bit of counseling and digging is required. I cannot really tell you what exactly to fix that right now, because we don't know what that is, what really closed him up. Okay. So once you know that, probably then it can be fixed. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that was our last question.
Thank you. Thank you, Rinsha.
Thank you so much for this amazing session, because the other day I had a sitting with her and she was like extremely making me comfortable. And I didn't feel like I'm hosting a conference alongside a guest and everything, because she was making me absolutely comfortable. I have to say that. And you are indeed an amazing and the sweetest person that I have ever come across.
Maybe my vibe is like that, no? Like don't I have like a happy vibe? I think if not my presentation, but I think my vibe can tell you that, how it feels to be always happy, like I'm sure you must have heard this Sadhguru saying it, the privilege of making me unhappy. Okay. I have not given that to anybody. I've not given that to anybody. I've kept those privileges to myself. Only I can make myself happy or unhappy. So I think that's what I live by. Yeah. And Rinsha, you have been so amazing. Your vibe is amazing. And that's why I felt comfortable, because you were there and Fatima was there, and both of you have been lovely. And I loved being here. With interacting with all of you. Loved being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mitali ma'am. Actually, we are having a token of gratitude for you, a
Mhm.
certificate. I hope we can see it.
Yes, yes, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mitali ma'am, once again. Hope we can meet one day because I really want to. I really wish to. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And we can see tomorrow. Join on time.